I mean, is there a line that can be crossed that'll make you not feel like someone is value added to the space at any point in time? Like, is there lawsuits? I think lawsuits is a pretty good line. I think it's a pretty good line. I think we saw that with R. Kelly. What do you think, G?
I just don't think he ever was hip hop. I don't think he ever really added value. I think he gave hip hop a space to get outside of hip hop.
Now, real quick, I got to interrupt you. I got to interrupt you real fast. During the intro, you said, "I don't even know why these OVOs call me the final boss. I don't even get it. I just think I'll be telling the truth." And then I asked you an open-ended question, and you said he was never hip hop. He never added value. I think we found the answer. This is why. This is why you're the OVO final boss. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just pointing out something that you had a question about.
Justin, can I say this? This is giving Glasses his roses. Giving Glasses roses. They've never had a debate in the barbershop. The folks who are arguing with him, when they see a logical conversation, someone arguing with logic, it infuriates them because they celebrate somebody who has made a career off of being overly hypersensitive and emotional through his music. That is the soundtrack to their life.
I feel you, Curse. I don't want to turn this into. I don't want to turn this into. I don't want to turn this into fan base critiques. I don't want to turn this into. We talking about the subjects, not the people that support the subject. The fan base do what they do. But G, I think you found your answer.
But I just don't. What's so bad about that? What's so bad about him? He's a fantastic record maker. He makes some good rap songs. He's a fantastic record maker. What's wrong with saying he's not hip hop? How is that me insulting him?
Because he can't be the GOAT and the king if he's not a part of it.
Right.
The GOAT and the king of what?
Hip-hop. What is hip hop to you? What is hip hop to you? That's the definition.
Street urban culture personified through the arts or elements.
So if it's not street, it's not hip hop.
Street urban culture. So the culture created through street urban people, right? Through the arts and elements.
But is his music and him not a derivative of street or urban culture?
No. I think he's like Madonna. He's like Madonna. He catches the trendiest things happening in urban, in like urban music. And you know, remember how Madonna used to do that? She would kind of take like a funk idea and make Holiday where you'd be like, damn, that thing is kind of funky, but it wasn't, you didn't look at it like you heard Cameo, you know what I mean? It was a little different. I think Drake does that. Like he'll have quasi drill songs. Like, you know what I mean? That'd be like diet drill. Like, you know, like a pop star. Like no? Y'all can't make me think I'm crazy. You know what I'm talking about, fat. Nobody else knows I'm crazy. You know what I'm talking about.
Glasses, I love you to death, dog, but man, I can't do that. It's like when Mos Def said he wasn't hip hop. Like
I said it before him.
I know y'all is out of control. He definitely, to me, he's definitely hip hop.
What did Mos Def lie? He said it's music. He said it's music with an edge to shop to. Look at the skews and look at what's happening as it's crumbling. People forget the last part of what Yasin Bey said. He said, "What happens when this thing starts collapsing?"
It's one of my favorite quotes of the year.
I just don't understand what's so wrong with that. Like, why is he hip hop? Because he is a black man rapping?
No.
Why would he be hip hop?
To me, he's hip hop because he's a direct descendant of the cultures that he rap about. Memphis.
But he's not a direct descendant of those cultures.
He's his father's kid. He spent time with his family.
Hold up. Stat.
Okay.
If he wasn't raised in Memphis, you're not a direct descendant of Memphis culture. And if your father is not raising you daily, you're not a direct descendant of Memphis culture. Drake is a Jewish man that grew up in a suburb of Canada doing a pop television show. That's like flat out the truth. And we all know it. Stat, you didn't talk to him like I talked to him. Ain't a lick of nigga in him. That's not to say he's not a black man.
Jesus.
He's a black man, but he's not a brother.
Oh.
No, you know what I'm saying? No. Like
not the Russell Wilson.
No, not like
Russell Wilson.
Look, it sounds negative, but he's like a Bob. He's
not a brother?
No, like, you know what I mean? Like a brother, you know.
No, I think, wait, how do you say? Oh, yeah, maybe he did
black
say that.
Man.
We said he's not a brother. He's a black man. He's not a brother.
Black man. He's a black man. But culturally, he was raised Jewish in the suburban Jewish community in Toronto, and he went to Jewish school.
But I don't. But see, I don't think him being white has anything to do with.
We're not talking about white. We're not talking about white. Jewish is a cultural experience. It's a culture.
He could be Jewish. He could be Jewish all he want and then be hip hop.
I agree. The Beastie Boys, but he's not. But they were also raised in New York City.
And I don't think the Beastie Boys would sue over a rap battle.
But we ain't got to go there. Let's not even go to the finished product of being correct. Let's start at the beginning point. He didn't have the rest of the stuff. That's why if you look at his clips, he'll say shit like, "Oh, slang is so ignorant." That's why if you look at it, like everything about him, Stat, you've talked to him. I know you have, because I have. So I know you have. You know damn well, Stat, that man talk, he's Bob Lieberman. And you know it. Even his approach is like, he's a true scientist, but not from the perspective of inside, but outside. So that's why I always used to say he wasn't hip hop. When I was like, oh, I get it. He's like a pop star that makes rap songs. And then he'll like target certain things. Like he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna make a song that appeals to the West Coast, right? And here you go with the model. I'm gonna get the tempo, or I'm gonna take these lyrics that are familiar to them, and I'm gonna exercise, and I'm gonna make a good jam. And he makes a mainstream pop jam. And then he shoots the video and he puts a low rider under the Bay Bridge. You know, even though culturally they're two different things, that's what Madonna or Britney Spears would do. Hey, I'm on the West Coast, California, low rider, Bay Bridge, they go together.
One of the first times in my life, I actually feel some compassion for a light-skinned man with a white and a black parent. Like this is what they go through, man. That's why these motherfuckers be so insecure, man.
Hold tight. Give Stat a chance to respond. You had the floor. G, you had the floor. Give Stat a chance to respond here.
I just think I understand what you're saying. I feel you, but I just think what he has contributed to this thing of ours, you know, however you want to slice it, I understand how y'all feel. I'm just grading the music. I'm grading the contributions that he has made. I understand what Kendrick said. He's culture vulturing, but you know, there's perspectives to everything. So some of those artists that he said he went down there to take from them, those artists, if you ask them, will tell you that he gave to them because he exposed those artists to a side to where these guys can make a lot of fucking money. So, you know, I understand what you're saying, hip hop, keeping it real. I rock with you, but that's not
what I'm saying. Look, there's tons of awesome people, Stat, that have contributed to hip hop and benefited from hip hop. That don't make hip hop. No.
I feel you.
John Janik has been fantastic for hip hop. There's a lot of people that have done fantastic things that don't make them hip hop.
But John Janik has not done for hip hop what for what Drake has done for hip hop. It's not. I don't
know.
Shout out to John Janik, University of Florida graduate.
Hold tight, real quick. I want to give Macito the opportunity to get in here too.
Nah, because you know.
OVO Mace. Someone's doing OVO Mace.
Right. I'm a Drake fan. I gotta chime in on this one because
right now we got two Drake fans on against G right now. I don't know where in the real world do we see this very often.
2v1, man.
It's a 2v1 right now.
Nah, but
and right now I think G is winning. I haven't really heard any compelling points other than I disagree. I think Drake is hip hop. I haven't heard an argument yet.
As a person who you know, has listened to Glasses speak about this in totality, I understand where he's coming from. I disagree, but I understand, right? Because Glasses is able to give you a exact definition of what he believes hip hop is. Most people can't do that, right? They just so I understand where he's coming from. And when Glasses speaks about it, he also, it's not just a Drake thing for him. He has other artists that he feels this way about. And I feel like that's where the pushback goes, because people are like, of all these people, you just deciding Drake is not hip hop because and this is not with Glasses, but for the overall point, when people are making the is Drake hip hop point in 2025, it's hard to make that argument when, you know, in Glasses, you know, has spoken about it. When you have Lil Uzi being called hip hop, when you have Travis Scott being called hip hop, when you have people who told the line way more than Drake. You know what I mean? And even though they are from America, don't necessarily have a bunch of hip hop culture tropes that they go about. They live like rock stars, or they live like, you know, just superstars or celebrities in general. So it's difficult for me to say to agree with that in 2025, right? So I is Drake hip hop? Yes, he's hip hop. You know what I mean? He's been a part of the culture. He's battled some of our greatest and lost. He's battled some of our greatest hip hop artists. He's been on some of the greatest hip hop songs, you know, that have happened. So I understand, you know what I mean, because himself definitely displays certain traits of somebody who doesn't identify with this, right? So I understand where you're coming from, Glasses, but his contributions themselves. I was struggling with that one, guys.
Yeah, but what's his contribution?
The music. Music.
Is Post Malone's contribution hip hop? Because he had hip hop all the time.
Not.
Why not?
Post Malone had one record, dog.
Right.
That's a lie.
No, he had a bunch of records. Yeah,
Bunch of
Popstar,
records.
he had
No,
White
now.
Iverson.
Man,
Yeah,
them
a
songs,
whole bunch.
them songs.
He had 2 albums.
Stop doing that, dog. That ain't y'all. That's some pop shit. Y'all don't do that.
No,
He had
Stat.
one-
No.
He had one record.
What makes that more pop shit than what he's doing?
Because Drake on that motherfucker spitting, Glasses. He on that
Come
bitch
on, bro.
rapping, talking
No.
that. He doing the same shit Hove do.
No, he is
Is he
not.
Nigga,
God
he
damn it,
bragging.
Stat. No, he is not doing the same thing.
No, listen. He on.
Stat, your camera's turned sideways. Turn your
What the
camera on.
hell, Stat?
He on there
Hey,
nan
you
and a
rolled
boo.
up in his grave and he
No,
ain't
watch
even
this.
dead
Hold on. Listen. He on there nan and a boo booing just like Hove. I fucked your baby mama. I got more money than you. I fly over your car.
That's what
He
Jay-Z
doing the
is.
same shit.
That's what Jay-Z is.
No. Time out. Not in totality.
That's what Joey Brown was doing too.
Give me the thing that make Jay-Z
Hold on, listen, not in totality, but I'm saying a lot of a lot of Hove is that. Not in totality. You know, he's my favorite rapper.
Sure.
The substance, yes, Jay gives us that. But I'm saying a lot.
Now give me that for Drake.
A lot of the shit is nana boo boo. That's
Give
why
me
that's why when he went through what he went through with Nas, that's why Nas was able to penetrate what Jay was doing, and then made Jay switch up and get a little bit more in depth with what he was doing. That's a different Jay-Z after that battle with Nas, because he got a lot more in his bag about what was happening, what he meant to the community, not just flossing and how much money I got. You get what I'm saying? He still did that, but he gave us other shit. I'm just saying Drake adapted that portion of it and he implemented that in his shit. Whereas Post Malone, he's just straight melodic, never rapping. When he tried to rap, we didn't fuck with it. And then he denounced hip hop music, you know, once he got on doing the rock shit and put some tats on his face. Drake still stayed with us, dog. When Drake put his shit out, that shit say rap and hip hop, and that helps the overall business of what we got going on.
Rap and hip hop. He got mad on songs specifically that said rap and hip hop. There were times when he wanted his songs entered into different.
Well, depending on the song.
What do you mean? That's never happened to Jay-Z. Jay-Z ain't never said.
No. But I'm saying, but Jay-Z didn't make a house album. This nigga made a whole house album. So
you know why?
Jay-Z don't sing.
Dog, you know why?
Hold tight real quick. I want to make sure, see if Skye, Curtis, or Screw got.
I'm sorry, guys. I ain't with me and Glasses.
I see y'all go back and forth. I'm seeing Professor Skye. Skye, what do you think right here? Because I mean, this conversation goes back and forth. I personally think that, you know, from the perspective of where G's coming from, I don't see a lot of people who are able to debate that outside of just explaining their feelings. But I want to give Skye an opportunity to chime in here. Same thing with Curtis and Screw.
Well, I saw a super chat that made me laugh. It said that Drake is as hip hop as Professor Skye, and I think that's a little bit unfair to Drake. But like I like, it's interesting because I really always try to, even though I say, you know, even though I talk about hip hop a lot, I talk about rap, I always really make it clear I don't think I am a part of it. I don't think I am hip hop for all the reasons that Glass has said, right? Like that's not my life experience. And I think if I were not able to accept that, I would have a terrible time in this space. I would be defensive. I'd be angry. I'd be lashing out at everybody who is in the space. And I would be acting basically like Drake does. And, we see some people do that on the internet. And so, I mean, I think there is a degree to which like Drake is a lot more interesting than I think his life experience is actually more interesting than he even presents it, because it like, how are you like a childhood star and your dad's in Memphis and your mom's like there's a lot of cool stuff there, but he's just like trying to be a whole bunch of different things. So I really like Glass's point that like, maybe we just say he's not hip hop and say that's not an insult and say he can be something else. And there's a lot of great things that aren't hip hop, I mean,
tons of them. I enjoy them all.
Because that's the point where I end up landing in this conversation most of the time. One, I don't know if I have a history of watching Drake claim to be hip hop. I'm not sure if that's something people generally need to do. It's not something that I expect everyone to say that they are all the time. I don't think you put on a t-shirt and all of a sudden you're hip hop. But I don't have this necessary history of him espousing hip hop cultural ideas, just generally speaking. Not to say he needs to or should have. I just don't have it. And two, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing if he's, I think it's okay for people not to be hip hop at the same time. You know what I mean? So I don't think that necessarily saying he's not hip hop is necessarily kicking or just diminishing his contributions. I think you could still say, yo, look at all these hits that he's been a part of and that he's made. Look at all the albums that have affected so many people's lives. Look at his run of success. I don't necessarily look at it that way, but it's very interesting to me when I hear people's reaction to people saying that, right? Is it, Curtis, I would love your opinion on this. Is it an immediate diss to you hearing the words Drake isn't hip hop?
Yes.
Explain it.
Because coming up in hip hop, when the foundation is authenticity, when you're talking about, and I think this is where we get into the conversation of whose hip hop are you talking about, right? Because everybody name brand ain't the same. Some people got Nike, some people got Mikey, they got NK Air. I don't know what you came up on. If you got FUBU, maybe you had PUBU. I don't know. When we talk about hip hop, as an MC, cardinal rule number one, you cannot be brought up as one of the best if there's ever any kind of evidence to be produced that you have had a ghostwriter. Now, does that make you a great businessman? Absolutely. In the music, in the record business, absolutely. Is that normal? They did it for all kind of different artists, of course. And this thing called hip hop, there's a reason why the things that Drake is doing musically is not landing right now. It's because he's lacking awareness of what's going on. What do you mean I'm not hip hop? Everything I've contributed. Music is not enough. Collaborations are not enough. Like there's an unspoken nuance. There's an unspoken connection that audiences are having to the artists that are resonating right now. Even when I think about, there's a difference between the audience that I was as a younger hip hop fan and Gen Z audience. Not to go into a long rant, but Gen Z audience is very different in that they'll go look up who brands political, who they're supporting politically. They go look up who support. Okay, this person supported yada 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 financially. I can't rock with it. I'm seeing folks on TikTok who are making better points sometimes than journalists about the disconnect that Drake has with them culturally. And you have folks that are now bringing up these points, and it's so disappointing because it's like, damn it, I keep seeing more and more lyricists that I thought came up under the same branch of hip hop that I'm recognizing. No disrespect. It's eye-opening to me to know that the same rules weren't applied all the way around. When I think about that, not hip hop, a contributor, yes, absolutely. The brand is a part of mainstream rap conversations. Will forever be a part of that. Suing. If Jay-Z sued Nas.
Oh my God.
If Nas sued Jay-Z after
the somewhere standing by right now.
Glasses. You know what Ja Rule did after? You know what Ja Rule did after that situation? After he got embarrassed after his, I say justice for Ja Rule because Ja Rule made a whole album, 8 diss songs, and came back and it didn't land. That's the one that Clapback was on. He had a whole damn near 8 songs he put doing the hip hop thing. But I think some artists look at that. Not even some artists, some businessmen who happen to have their hand in the hip hop pot or the business of it. They look at that and they say, well, look at what that got him. I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it a smarter way. I'm going to find a way where I'll be indestructible. Well, guess what? He can't enjoy the same success that other artists are enjoying right now in terms of the way that they're resonating with the culture. You can't quantify that. You can't pay somebody off like you can for a playlist on Spotify and then all of a sudden get that clout. You can't pay for that kind of cultural cachet. And I think the people who are disconnected are the people who are disconnected.
I just want to say this. I just want to get this out. I really am not in a position to say what he is and what he's not. I have my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you guys, Glasses, it's a beautiful point you bringing up. When I listen to Drake's music, I can say it sound like hip hop to me. But you know, you didn't broke it all down with the definitions. That's cool. All I know is, man, like
The music
I know,
jam.
yeah, the
That's
music
it.
sounds good. I appreciate what he got going on. And this world that we live in, everybody just knocking shit down, like critiquing shit. I wish this never happened. I wish he never dissed Kendrick Lamar.
It was the
You know what
worst
I'm saying?
mistake of his life.
I wish he never did it. I wish it never happened because man, we don't have the artists in this shit to make the records to keep the business going. And you know, this is it got me doing all kind of other shit trying to figure out life. You know what I'm saying? Because
What business though? What business is it benefiting but a small percentage when we're living in a streaming economy where if you're not part of that 1 percentile, you are seeing fractions of
That is a part of the 1
This
percentile.
business is already going downhill. What
Play,
business are we talking about?
listen, champ. Like you said, I don't know you and you don't know me, but my over here, it affects.
That's part of the 1%. That's
Come
what I'm
on,
saying.
dog. Yeah,
Like
we
what
can't.
business are we talking? Like the artists right now that I'm seeing that are finding financial ways to break through are doing it direct to consumer.
Hip hop.
They're cutting the middleman out the way. They're doing the hip hop. Hip hop is coming back home. So when I see, man, shit was so much better 15 years. Niggas was making a whole lot of money. You know what is funny? Coming up, I was always told by my elders, there's no money in the music business. Then when I got into the business, I was told there's no money in the music business. But you know who it was told by? The people who were making money off of the people making the music. So now that the jig is up and I see it, and I think a lot of us have access to a lot of information that we didn't have before, a lot of access to platforms and ways to monetize and distribute what we're doing independently, like for real independently, because shout out to Heatmaker. He made a good point years ago that I didn't understand. He was like, how could you call yourself independent if you're still going through the streaming platforms? That's their business. That's not your business. You're using their service. So now that we are doing things like you're seeing some of the biggest artists now who are following through. When I look at a Kanye West selling albums and CDs directly from his website, that is now a normal thing. And I'm watching the record business make adjustments because of what is successful in the music business. And I got that separation from my guy Glass Malone, who had to make that very clear that there's a difference between the two. So now when I'm saying this, I'm like, I don't know what the nostalgia for the good old days are, because I look at a lot of artists who sound very bitter and angry about how the last 10, 20 years has played out in this business, for them at least.
You know, one thing I think is really interesting about Stat is that Stat has
he part of that 1%.
He also has the full circle experience.
Yeah.
Right. So he has the indie mixtape out the trunk experience. He has the sign to a label. It didn't go the way it was supposed to go at all experience. I hate coming into an executive. He had the I got to figure out another way experience. You know what I mean? So he has the full perspective of the economics around this, but also the energy and the feeling of it. You know what I mean? So I don't think, and then the same thing with Curtis. You know what I mean? Curtis is someone who has been able to, create impactful music and work with the biggest artists in the space, create his own brand straight up from the bottom, direct to consumer, be innovative the entire way as well. So I think the two of you are closer in perspective than it may seem.
Got to make sure I speak up for myself because nobody else will. Going number one multiple times on the Apple Hip Hop iTunes charts from my room, from here, recording here myself, producing myself. Exactly. Promoting myself, marketing myself. I'm not one of these artists. Like, that's why the backpack title to me was so insulting earlier, because it minimalizes. And I know you're not familiar with me. I'm not expecting you to be, but I am the new. I call myself a DIYer for a reason. DIY. We are expected to be the ones handling the video editing before we can get to a place where we can delegate these responsibilities. We're in charge of doing all of these things. Right? I can have these conversations with a young guru for 7 hours about music streaming and about all these different things. And then I can switch back around and have these conversations with a punch about the history of TD. And like, the reason I can have all these conversations is because I am well versed in these spaces, hands on. I'm not saying it because I need to defend myself. I'm saying it to say I am a version of what the new independent is going to be. Because yesterday's independent, even when I looked to see, when I went to go to Strange Music Land, I said, that's not the independent I am. There's no way in hell.
So they define
a very big difference.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that there's this lens that I'm speaking from is not from one of delusion. It's one from practicality. It's one from experience. And it's one from I'm the one when the artists get their ass handed to them, I'm the person they come to.
Yeah, but Stat, that's the key. That's what Justin's saying. Stat has been that person too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was oddly like Justin saying, y'all have been on two same sides and opposite sides of the coin as far as the business of hip hop, the records go. And so Stat is somebody who understands, because he's been in the building, the power of records. He knows really what happens to every dime around it. You understand when you don't have the person to promote it, yet you can create an economy that allows you to support your family and pay your mortgage.
Right.
So you guys
and the thing of it is, I've been you, but you never been me. And that's just simply that.
You have not been me. Let's stop that. I don't like the flexing. The flexing is
it's not flexing. It's not flexing. What I'm saying, I've been independent.
Hold on.
I've been independent.
No. I'm going to honor your statement.
Independent.
You
I've
cannot
been independent.
stop it. You've never been Curtis King.
No. What I'm saying is you're discussing the journey of someone that's independent.
Sorry.
No.
Curtis, do me a favor. Give Stat a chance. Give Stat a chance to finish. I don't think you're taking that the right way, Curtis.
Yeah, you taking it the wrong way because you.
I don't think you're taking that the right way.
Yeah, you taking that the wrong way. What I'm saying, what Glasses just said, right? The perspective that you're speaking from as an independent artist that's not dependent on labels, that's doing the marketing yourself, that's making it out of your room, putting it out, making money from it. What I'm saying to you, I have done that. Okay, I don't know your journey because I just meet you right now. But when you're speaking of totally being independent, totally being self-sufficient, no labels, none of that, making it yourself, making the product, I'm speaking from that perspective. Like La Russell, for instance, that type of grind. I've done that. Now I don't know I don't know how familiar you are with the actual business and dealing with the crackers. I deal with the crackers. They fuck with me. I'm the spook that sat by the elevator. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm talking about that. You get that's what I'm talking about. So
what I'm saying is, you sounded like the crackers, and that's what I'm getting from this entire conversation. Is you've been sounding like the crackers. You've been trumping integrity in the name of, if you can make hit records, you can sell stuff. We can look over all of that other stuff.
I've already done that.
I can't apply that. You have never been me. You've been independent. That is one thing we have in common. I have never been you, and I want to respect the differences that exist there.
We moved on to the next topic. I'm moving on to the next topic. I definitely think this is going in the direction that.
Yeah, you tripping.
I don't think that you were coming from that standpoint.
Exactly. This dude tripping.
You know what I'm saying? I think. But sometimes that happens. Hey, right here, Culture United, it's all happening. We'll take an applause.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad he hung up. He got emotional because like that. I wasn't trying to.
I will say though, bro. Some of the stuff that you're saying, the way you're saying it, I don't know if you know how it's coming off. It is coming off dickheadish though, because there's no point of you saying you've never been me. There's a way better way of saying that, because of course he's going to take it like your entire, especially when you said the thing you said earlier. It definitely does seem like you're just, as someone who's listening, you're saying certain things that I'm not blaming Curtis for actually taking it the way he's taking it, because it feels like you're little boying him a couple times now. And with the backpacker statement, I know maybe that's not your thing, but as me listening to it, you keep saying things and telling him what he's kind of done. It's sounding like that when you say you've never XYZ. Nobody's gonna take that. No other man is gonna just not take that. Because I felt away when you said that. Because and also I don't even know how we got here with what does this have to do with Drake and the question that was asked? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think he felt the way about the backpack thing from earlier, and he was still carrying that. But I'm not a person that doesn't accept like criticism or like is someone feeling away. I definitely wasn't trying to like diss dude or whatever because I never met him or know anything about what he doing. I think it's sad that he got emotional like that and jumped off the call. But hey, man, it is what it is. Honestly, as Justin knows, I don't give a fuck about him. I can say that for real because I really don't care about. I really don't care. Period. But I wasn't trying to diss him. Like, and I wasn't trying to do that to him. And kudos to him. I hope he get his shit off. We just having a discussion about rap music. And I don't give a fuck about Drake. I don't give a fuck about OVO. I don't give a fuck about the lawsuits. Like this is that's what be tripping me out. How people really get emotional talking about this shit right here. Like this shit don't have no parents.
You understand that though. I mean, you've been not only an artist and a professional in the space, but a fan of the space for a while. You get it. You understand what it is.
No, but I'm just
you know what I'm saying. Feel. You've been to the barbershop.
It's just
you used to go to the barbershop.
No, but it's just so crazy.
At the house.
Exactly. So it's so crazy. It's so crazy how like people really be investing in somebody else's shit. Like I don't be giving a damn.
I don't think that's what this was. I don't think that's what this moment was.
I'm not even talking about him just specifically. Yeah. And Justin knows this. I'm just talking about how long this has carried on. You know, and I think, and I'm gonna say this as a Drake fan, I'm gonna say this. The suing shit, I can't get with that because I told Justin this. He has managed to make us cape for Universal Music, which is crazy. That I never thought that it would be a time where the people would cape for $1 billion corporation. And like he has managed to do that, and I think that's a bad move on his team's part. I'm not fucking with that. Like I'm not fooling with that. Like I ain't fooling with that at all.
That's actually on brand. What I'm saying. I've been saying this since 2018. Stat, I'm not lying to you. When we was talking about it, when me and Dot said, I knew it. And it broke him. Like it. This is why I'm saying, like, this is what they arguing, Stat. When you hear them arguing, now don't get me wrong, there are some people that are vested in the battle, but then there are some people like Scru Face or Curtis who really built everything out the mud through the culture, right? Through the artistic culture. And they are serious, and I actually enjoy hip-hop in their hands. Don't get me wrong. I've seen the business. I know what record making is all about. Like I'm all with the record making, but I also understand you don't get the 90s without the 80s. And we're so far removed from the 90s, you know, when records, when Death Row and Bad Boy and The Face and them start putting out these consistent, you know what I mean, rap records that are triumphant on the charts, they passing all the pop songs, but the culture was intact. And it's been so long, Stat, since the culture was intact, like it needed a reset to the 80s. It needed to go back to where you can get, you know, an Audio 2 top billing. Like it needed that. And those brothers specifically like Kurt or John, they are the real, you know what I mean? They are stimulating that economy. They're creating the way the next group of hip hop kids is going to be able to tell the stories. Like Chuck D says, if it's the ghetto CNN, they're going to be the reason the next generation will.
Culture united, our culture united, our culture united, our culture united, connecting all over the world, connecting all over the world, connecting all over the world, connecting all over the world. 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 Connecting all over the world.